Hey y'all, and welcome back to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I'm Nina V. King DuPont, and today you're going with me to the Platinum Yucatan Princess. But until then, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It's the only way we're going to grow. I'm so sorry for our brief silence on YouTube. We have had some personal stuff going on. Also, we did some traveling. I did go to this resort in June of 2023 with a girls group, and we had a great time. You're going to see lots of footage from each day, as well as from the sister resort, which is family friendly and is located next door to the Platinum Yucatan Princess. Let's get on into it. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I'm Nina V. King DuPont, and today we're going to Mexico. I got to the airport around 6:30 and my flight is at 9:30, so got through security probably 15-20 minutes of that. It is around 7:30 now, so I made a really great time, did it in like an hour. There was an issue with the plane train, but luckily I made it to my gate, and probably gonna go get something to eat actually. Yeah, so next stop is Cancun Airport, where KALIDO will pick me up and take me to the Platinum Princess Yucatan. If you follow our channel, you know that we only utilize KALIDO whenever they're available within this area of Mexico. They are privately owned and operated. Their transfer services are always private, always professional, always on time. Our driver this time was named Al, and I absolutely adored him. I'm going to request him when we go to VIM next week. Pro tip, KALIDO will also provide beer and Caribe coolers, etc., and the transfer for you if you pay for it, and they will even provide sunblocks. KALIDO, y'all, this is the way. It's privately owned and operated. Can't say enough good things about them. I will link them as always in the description box for you below. So this is room 5012. It is a platinum swim out suite. I was hoping that I could score one upon check-in, and the girl sure enough did. They were sold out online. This is the bathroom. Typical closet space for an all-inclusive. You have your safe here. Really adequate space. Obviously you have your scale down here. And then this is your little coffee bar area. They have a stocked mini bar here. It's got beer and water, etc. One thing that's kind of weird about this resort that I remember is even if you request additional beers, like I always do, like I'll give the mini bar people money, they don't give them to you. They will charge you extra, which is crazy in my opinion, but whatever. This is the bathroom area. I really love the double vanity here, y'all, but I love the bathroom area here. It is kind of like an open concept. This is the shower. I do remember from last time that the shower kind of leaks from, you know, so usually we had to put towels down. Again, I really hate it when resorts do this with this tub piece. I know that a lot of y'all like that. It's not my jam, y'all, but whatever. I'd never get in those things either because you just don't know if they ever even clean them. And yeah. This is the bed area. Really like it. The bed is super comfortable from what I remember. Obviously, some of the furniture, you can see that it does need a refurb, but whatever. You know, for the price point, this place is great. I got, the original room I booked was around $731 US. It was the lowest platinum suite available, the lowest tier. I negotiated with them to get the swim out room. You can do it, y'all, and I got it for 40% off. So I only ended up spending around $300 extra for 4 nights for this awesome swim out. This is our favorite swim out in this area. It's probably the best swim out I've ever stayed in, and I'll show y'all that in a minute. With platinum status, you do get this bag, and you get this like rock gut awful tequila, whatever. I'm not going to drink any of that, but whatever. You also, with the platinum status, you do get a better room service menu. So that is the room service menu there. It's not as extensive if you just stay in a regular suite. Little lounger area. And then this, y'all, this is the swim out. And again, I absolutely adore the swim out at this resort. Can't say enough good things about it. The water here is super warm from what I remember. It is fairly private, so you do have that piece. And it's really pretty, like back up to here. Good morning. It is my first full day here. This morning I got up pretty leisurely. I didn't sleep great last night. I just didn't. But this morning I did eat breakfast on the adults only part of the resort, which of course I'm staying on. And then I walked over here to the family friendly property. Greg and I only briefly visited over here for a minute last year. There is a beach club over here I'm going to do tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. I think it's $10 per day, and it's just a little bit on a better beach, and it's a little more private and things like that. So that'll be interesting to get video for you all and give you the low on that, because I know in the resort groups it's not super clear about just how you get to it and what all it entails. Pro tip, if you lose your room key at this resort, there is a charge. I thought that I had lost my room key. I don't know what the charge was going to be, but they told me they would waive it for me, but typically there is a charge. In fact, there was a couple in line with me and they were like, "Oh girl, you lost your room key." I was like, "Oh God." So don't lose your room key at this resort. I think because it's budget, that's a way they can kind of nickel and dime you. So there are also wristbands at this resort. I hate it when resorts do that, but when you do these cheaper properties, you know, you're gonna have a wristband. I am gonna get video over here today. I am going to do the beach club, like I said, and yeah, so let's get the day started. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the family-friendly property. There are 2 family-friendly properties that are connected to the adults only, and it's kind of a walk from the adults only. There is a shuttle that runs, but I don't give a poop about that because I do enjoy walking everywhere. Like I'm going to show y'all, the pools and stuff are definitely dated. I did find information out about the beach club. I just have to show up there tomorrow. I don't have to make a reservation, and then I do have to pay when I get there. I did just ask for a little bit more information in the resort group, because even the concierge here on this side didn't seem to really understand the whole gamut of it. But anyways, there are lots of these stone statues that, or they're not really stone, they're fake, but that are all along these properties. I think it's a really cool addition. Lots of coyotes on this property. Some people have even posted seeing monkeys on this side of the property. Anyways, the phone party does start in about an hour, so I am going to hit up one more bar on this side and then head over back to the adults only property. Okay, also they do have these villas here you can rent. I don't know what all that entails. I do know that this property price is even cheaper than the property that I'm staying on, but I think this would be really cool, like if you had like a big family, or I don't know, like a bunch of friends or something like that, especially since this price is so well. I'm gonna go over here and take some video. I love all these little pools that exist throughout this property as well. I think it's a really cool addition. Sometimes there are fountains running, so definitely gonna mention this property to my college, not college, my BFF, adult BFF as I call her, because I'd love to come here with her daughter. So this is one of the pools on the family friendly side. As you can see, it's like super dated, especially even how you get in and out of the swim out. It's obviously really clean, but So each morning I would start the day off with an espresso martini over on the family-friendly side. I had no idea last year that there was actually a dedicated coffee shop on that part of the property, or I would have gone over there. The unique thing about this property is it. When I say family friendly side, it is a completely separate resort. So it's not like, you know, when you go to like Hard Rock or you go to some of these other places and they just have like a pool or another area for adults only. This is actually like an adults only resort that is connected to a family friendly property. Now, the beach on the family friendly side was much better than on the Platinum Yucatan side. The seaweed was really bad on the adult side. So I usually would hang out on the family friendly side, and the seaweed was really non-existent at the Chill Out Lounge. The name of the family friendly side, it is called the Grand Sunset Princess. I did book directly on the Princess website. If you join their rewards program, it's even cheaper. I think you get 5% off, and you cannot go to the adults only side if you book the Grand Sunset Princess side. But if you book the Platinum Yucatan side, like me, you have access to all of the properties. So the adults side of the resort, the Platinum Yucatan Princess piece, oh my gosh, the seaweed was horrific. It smelled so bad. It was even hard to hang out at the bar over there. They do have a really great little beach restaurant over there. I really like the dudes in there are like roasting chickens, and I mean it's yummers. It's one of the probably the best meals I had there, which says a lot about this property. Again, if you go to this property, you may want to go for the pools. That's certainly what I will always have in mind if I return here. I mean, Greg and I experienced the same thing last year, but I think the seaweed was even worse this year. Like most of these resorts, they do have a foam party every Saturday at the Platinum Yucatan Princess. It is not exactly like what you would see at Valentine Imperial Riviera Maya or Eldorado Seaside Suites. It is a little bit reminiscent of MTV Spring Break. I'm just going to put that out there. And if that's your thing, that's cool. I mean, I had an okay time. I only stayed in it maybe 25 minutes, not like, you know, at VIM I stay in it the whole time, but yeah, it was, I mean, it's fun. It's just a very much super party vibe. Just a heads up if you do go, and they don't have like the super awesome performers like on violin or anything like that. It's just a DJ. That's very similar to like what you see at Eldorado Seaside Suites, but anyways, I do think it's definitely worth checking out if you are into that whole kind of party scene, if you do go. Pro tip, if you do not book a platinum swim out and you just book the basic swim out, like things like it's just like a deluxe, you're gonna be on that party pool. So it's gonna be pretty loud for you every single day, because that's where the entertainment team does like pretty much everything for this resort is on that pool. So if you want a more quiet experience, a more private experience, I definitely would upgrade to that platinum piece regardless. Good afternoon, y'all. It is my I think second or third full day here. I am walking over to the family friendly property again. I really want to get another one of those espresso martinis, and then I'm gonna try the Chill Out Beach Club for y'all. The service here has been much better this time on this visit than it was the last time Greg and I came. I don't know if it's because I told them that I'm reviewing this for the channel. I have no idea. It could be, I don't know, but like my safe just took a dump, like the battery went dead, and I called and they were in my room within like 5 minutes. It was epic. I don't even think I've gotten service that quick at Secrets before. Let's see. Also, the room, they've been cleaning it spot on. They don't do turn down service here, which I hate, but I mean, again, for the price point, I wouldn't really expect it. So there is that. I'm headed over to the family friendly property again. Can't remember if I mentioned that or not. I do want to get another one of those espresso martinis, and then I am going to try the Chill Out Beach Club for you all. So stay tuned. I was hopeful that kids weren't allowed in this, but I guess they are. So we'll see what happens, y'all. right, they do have bathrooms here for you all, like private kind of bathrooms for just people that are staying here. Luckily, the Rugrats that were trying to come in's family thought it was too much money, so they didn't bring them in here, which is really good. But it's super cute. They have little tables here, and then I definitely think the beach is way better over here, obviously, than it is at the other parts of the resort. Here is the restaurant piece. That is the bar. And so you can sit like pretty much anywhere, which is great. I'm sure the earlier you get here, the better spot that you can snag. I'm gonna come sit out here for a little bit. So yeah, I definitely think this is worth the money. I'm not sure if I would do it like 3 days, but I would definitely do it a couple of days if I were staying here. So especially since this resort is so freaking budget anyway, I think it's a really good price point. All right, so, well, second drink of the day, not first drink of the day, but I did get them to make me a Kir Royale here at the Chill Out Beach Club, and the Chambord was a $6 upcharge. FYI, it's not $10 a day like you might see in the resort groups. It is now $23 a day to come in and just have access and to just drink. So just FYI, and the food is a little bit more. It's not too much. I think it's like double maybe that. I didn't really get that information because I'm not going to eat here, but I'm about to do a tour of it so you all can see it. Cheers. Super good, but I love some Chambord, y'all. So I did take an afternoon and I went over to the Chill Out Beach, and you're going to get to see a Chill Out tour video in a few moments, and also now you're seeing pictures of the beach. The beach over there is great compared to the other parts of the resort. They also have a restaurant there, and the restaurant is, you know, more of an upcharge. I can't remember if you pay a la carte or if you just pay one price. I really wish I would have eaten there because the food there at this resort was so bad. Maybe it was better at this restaurant. If I ever go back, I will definitely eat a meal there. Also, they have a bar over there. Obviously, all the drinks are included unless you want something special. I think I did like a Chambord shot. I can't remember exactly how much it was. And then they have some other things that are an upcharge there as well. So just know that. But you're guaranteed a lounger. You're guaranteed to be on this exquisite part of the beach if you do choose to come to the chill out portion of this resort. If I returned here, I would spend every single day here. No doubt, hands down, it's definitely worth the money. Good morning. It is about 11 o'clock here. I am headed to a cocktail class. It is my last full day here, so super sad about that. But kind of ready to get back to Atlanta, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I will get some footage of that in a little bit and update y'all then. Just got done with lunch. I love the barbecue beach spot on the beach here. They have great Jamaican jerk chicken, not as good as the Holiday Inn in Jamaica, but you know, it is what it is. And I think I'm gonna head back over to the family friendly resort and get a last espresso martini since it is my last day here, and probably get in the pool. The beach is really gross today, lots of seaweed. I would like to say the food here has been absolutely terrible. I mean, this lunch was fine because I mean it's just chicken, but I ate at the fondue place last night. That's on the family friendly side. It was probably the most disgusting meal I've ever had at an all-inclusive. I don't know why I even stayed and ate it, to be honest. They don't do meat. It's just like cheese, and then they have other entrees, but it was almost in like what looked like a cafeteria on the inside, and then they didn't bring me anything to dip the cheese in. It was so weird. I ordered pasta because I didn't think they could screw that up, and it was like Chef Boyardee for real, y'all. It was really, really gross. So definitely highly disappointed with the food here this year. I probably would not return to this resort unless I was going with people that just really needed to save money. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am with it. The service has been absolutely great though, and y'all know I love the swim out room here. So that's my update. They do have a crepe station piece that's going on or something like that at 3:30. Oh God, there's a big lizard here. I want to go around him. So I will be doing that, and then I'll probably just spend this afternoon at the swim up or at the, yeah, I don't know. But anyways. The entertainment here is pretty good. As you all know, you saw the footage from the foam party. Again, that foam party is very MTV Spring Break-esque. But a lot of the other activities are typical of any all-inclusive or something you do on a cruise. You'll see footage here from a cocktail class that I went to. It wasn't very interactive like a lot of the other ones that I've been to. It was just... if you had to get there early to get a seat, and they didn't really include people that were just standing around like me. I was a little late getting there. They also had a couple of food stations and things like that in the afternoon on the adults only side. I didn't do any of the activities on the family friendly side. I heard the club over there is better than the club at the Platinum Yucatan. I did not make it to the club after hours, but I did go to a couple of activities that were in the club on the adults only side, and that was pretty good. They have a lot of activities that go on in the plaza area every night. They don't have a lot of live music, which is disappointing. It's usually just like some kind of game that the entertainment staff puts on, and then they do have shows that they do every night in the theater. I have not ever made it to one of those shows. They seem kind of cheesy to me. So because again, it is a budget resort, so I really don't know how well produced they are, but that is an option for you as well if you do want to stay on the adults only side of this property. Also, I did have dinner last night at the Hibachi restaurant. It was okay. Food here this time has been disappointing. I feel like it was better last time we were here. Tonight I did get a reservation for the fondue restaurant, which is over on the family friendly side, so that should be interesting. I've not eaten on that side of the property before, so I will let you all know how it is. I think I did get some pictures of hibachi last night, and I will pop them in here if I did. So this is over here at the Rodeo Grill area, and I did not realize this because it's really not advertised, but they actually do coffees and like a I don't know how to explain it, but like a kind of like snack buffet there during the day, and it's not really advertised anywhere, so yeah. And then these are the bird cages that you can sit in if you are a platinum. If you pay into those platinum rooms, you do have to reserve those. I'm not sure how the availability is when you do not have that platinum status, but alrighty, food, y'all. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It was much better last year when we went in 2022. Again, I went in June of 2023. It was so bad. I'm not gonna lie to y'all ever. Oh my God. Yeah. So they do have a number of restaurants. They have Skylights, which is an upcharge. Of course, I didn't do that one. They have Tao, which is the hibachi. They have Bruschetta, which is an Italian. They have the Rodeo Grill, which is their steakhouse. And then they have Aroma, which is kind of like, I don't know, it's just very eclectic. It's kind of like a mix of everything. I don't really know how else to describe it. Y'all, it was just not good. I did not, except for the beach barbecue, I did not have a good meal there at all. Like, I mean, it was fine, but it was like worse than Carnival Cruise food. I'm not going to lie. All right, so this is my review portion of the video. You're probably seeing Hammy through the door back here. What was your favorite thing about this resort? My favorite thing about this resort is definitely the swim out pool that I always get, the swim out suite. I feel like this is one of the best swim outs that you can get in the Quintana Roo, Playa del Carmen, Tulum area. I absolutely adore this room. Even though this resort is a budget resort, the room and the swim out to me make up for that. Also, pro tip, I was not able to get a swim out room on the website, but once I arrived, I did upgrade, and you can upgrade with them and actually haggle the price. So I think I upgraded, and you're going to see in the room tour, I think I upgraded for maybe $250, $300. I can't remember what the final price point was. What was your favorite drink at this resort? So the drinks at this resort are not good. I'm not going to lie. It is that budget property. typically if we, drink here, I mean, we do drink, but the drinks that we get, we don't do the mixed drinks. They do have Fernet at this resort, so that's a plus for me. The lobby bar area does have better drink selection, just FYI. And if you do book their Platinum room, which I did, you get like this, you get 3 bottles of liquor in your room, but they're not good. They're rock gut, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. One thing I found this trip that I really liked, that you saw footage of as I went next door to the family friendly property every day, the coffee shop over there was great. The espresso martini was definitely my favorite. Probably one of the better espresso martinis I've ever had. So definitely go next door and check out that coffee shop to get more premium cocktails. What would you change about this resort? Oh my God, y'all, the food this time was absolute garbage. It was so gross. It was even, I mean, it was okay when Greg and I went last July, but y'all, it was so gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I mean, it was not good, okay? The breakfast buffet was decent. The best lunch you're gonna get is at that little beach bar on the beach, on the Platinum Yucatan side. They do like roasted chickens and things like that there. You can't screw that up. The dinners were so not good. I did go and eat one night at the sister property. I did the fondue over there. Y'all, it was straight Velveeta nastiness. Yuck. With all that being said, if you go into it knowing that and knowing that the food is going to be like worse than carnival food, I think you're going to be okay. All right. I mean, it's still all you can eat and drink, and you're at the beach. The seaweed was really bad, as y'all saw, but I don't know. I mean, for the price point, you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? What was your favorite meal at this resort and why? Definitely the barbecue place on the beach. That's going to be your best bet, and it's just mediocre at best. It's not, blowing it out of the water. Did you like the entertainment at this resort? Why? I do. It's okay. It's not like anything you're going to see at Valentine, Imperial, Riviera Maya, or Secrets or Excellence, or any of those higher end resorts. The entertainment crew they have there, I feel like does a really good job. I'm friends with one of the guys on Facebook, and for it to be a small property, I really feel like they do the best that they can, and the entertainment people are so great about trying to involve you. There is a phone party. It's okay. It feels very MTV Spring Break. You saw videos of that. It's not like something you're going to see at Valentine or like the Hilton or something like that. It's definitely like another level of, again, it's just like that MTV Spring Break vibe. But again, you get what you pay for. I've heard that there is a club at the sister property next door. I never stay up that late. There is a club on the Platinum Yucatan Princess side. It is nice, the inside of it. Again, I never stay up that late to make it to the club. I'm 43 and I never make it that late. Sorry y'all, I drink all day. Thoughts on service at this resort? It's pretty good. They don't come to like your loungers and serve you drinks like you're gonna see at a higher end property. I mean, again, you get what you pay for. You do have to get up and get your drinks. And the same people were working there as they were last year. Really love the one entertainment guy, I can't remember his name. The door guy, his name is Diego. He's great. He actually used to work at VIM. I text with him now. He is fabulous. He makes that resort. He knows your name when you come in. He remembers you while you're there. So I really feel like, the service is definitely good for the price point that you're paying for. What did you think about the beach of this resort? Oh my God, the seaweed was so gross. You are gonna see video of that. I'll pop some more in here. It smelled so bad, y'all. It was disgusting. They don't have people out there cleaning it up like they do at, Valentine or Secrets or any of those other higher end properties. I mean, heck, even a Ryu, you just don't see it. So it just piles and piles and piles up, and it smells so bad. Probably the worst seaweed I've ever seen, other than when I was at Chic Punta Cana last year. So yeah, just be warned, if you're gonna go during this time of year, like in the summer, just know what to expect. Pro tip, you saw this earlier, If you go to the chill out section, which you have to pay for at the sister property next door, the seaweed, they cleaned it up better. It's much cleaner over there. It's a much nicer experience. So if I would have stayed there longer, I would have paid into the chill out lounge every single day. Just FYI. But I'm also a beach person. The pools there are great. I usually stay in the pool at this resort more than I do other resorts. What did you think about the pools at the resort? Already kind of answered that. They are super warm just because the way the water, or the sun hits them. So just be aware that they're really warm. But they were really warm at Valentine this year, but they were also having a heat wave. So yeah, I do like the pools at this resort. Like I said, the swim out room there is like my favorite in this area of Mexico. What would you rate the food at this resort? I would rate the food at this resort a 2. It was absolutely garbage, period. So nasty. I don't even know how, I can't be nice about it. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to give you the tea. I think that the only meal that was kind of good, sort of, was the hibachi. And they weren't going to bring anybody else yum yum sauce, but because I tipped the guy like $10, they brought me some yum yum sauce. But I'm just saying, y'all, it was not good. Not good at all. Like, the best meal I had was at the Johnny Rockets in the airport on the way home. Give me a break. Rate the resort overall. Keeping in mind that this is a budget property, keeping in mind that it is a majorly discounted budget property, and just knowing that going in, I have to give this resort a 6. I know what I'm getting into when I go there, so keep that in mind. If I didn't, and this was like and I had just looked at the website and I'm like, oh, this is 5-star and blah blah blah, I probably would go in like hating it, like I kind of did last year, but this year I knew what I was getting into, if that makes sense. Would you return to this resort? Why or why not? I would return to this resort if I was going with people that really needed that discounted rate. I would be happy to return there. I really like the door guy there. For me, staff always kind of makes the resort. I would just know that the food was horrible. So yes, I would definitely return to this resort if I was in that situation, or heck, even if I was like kind of broke and just wanted to get out of Atlanta for 2 nights, I would go. So it's not a bad ride from the airport, 40 minutes with a private transfer. So, you know, I would probably go back. Thank you so much for watching this video. We have a lot more videos coming out for you, and I can't wait to share all of our summer travel with you. Till then, don't forget, the experiences are greater than material things.